Hey guys, so if you didn't know, today's my birthday. And I was born at 8:11 a.m. on September 24th, 2012. Now, nearly 11 years later, I decided to make a video about my birthday. And now, as you just saw, it ticked to 8:01. So there's about 10 minutes left. So since this video is based on my birthday, which is of course a day in your calendar, I thought it would be fun to show you a few fun facts about the calendar. So for instance, everybody watching this video probably knows what a leap year is and how to calculate one, or so you think, because actually every 100 years a leap year is skipped. So for instance, the year 1900 was not a leap year because it's a multiple of 100. But it gets even weirder when you think about the fact that multiples of 400 are leap years. So for instance, 2000, that was a leap year because it's a multiple of 400. And the reason why they did this is pretty simple. The Earth doesn't take 365 days to rotate around the sun. It takes approximately 365.2427. And if you just use the 4-year leap year, then we have 365.25 days, which is close, but over hundreds of years, it will still get out of alignment. So, as a result, they decided to change it so that it actually is 365.2425 days a year on average, which is a lot better because it's just closer to the actual number and it gets out of sync a lot slower. Although it will still, of course, get out of sync and then they'll have to add another weird leap year rule. Now, another weird fact about the calendar is that there's actually 3 different types of calendars. There's the solar calendar, which we use in America. There's the lunisolar calendar, which is used in places like China. And there's the lunar calendar, which is used in places like the Middle East. So the solar calendar is based entirely on the sun. It's just defined by the Earth's rotation around the sun. And that's the one that you're probably most familiar with. The lunisolar calendar, every month is defined as a moon, as with the moon. So the month starts when the moon gets out of its new moon phase and becomes a waxing crescent, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. And it ends when the moon goes back to a new moon. But they also have solar elements because they do have leap days, plural, and sometimes even a leap month. It's a really confusing topic that I might make a whole video about someday. And then there's the lunar calendar, which is the Islamic calendar. It's used by most Middle Eastern people, and basically that calendar is entirely based on the moon. They don't care about what the sun does. They just base their calendar on the moon, and so they're out of alignment with the sun completely, and they don't really care. They just do their own thing over there. So those are some fun facts about the calendar. And now, since we still have 6 minutes left, I think I'll give you a quick biography on myself. So, I was born in Memorial Hermann Hospital, Spring, Texas, approximately 11 years ago. Take 6 minutes. And I grew up in Spring, Texas for the first 6 years of my life. Went to Interfaith Preschool as a pre-K. I moved here, this very house in Katy, when I was 6. And I've attended Stanley Elementary School ever since. It's a basic biography of myself. And some of my hobbies are Rubik's Cubes, writing math books. And now it is I'm almost 11 years old. I cannot wait. So, seeing that we have about approximately 4 to 5 minutes till I am 11 years old, decided to maybe give a history of time itself. So, our system of time was actually invented by the ancient Babylonians. If you didn't know, the Babylonians were an ancient people that lived in the Middle East that came up with many inventions and explored many different fields, like astronomy, for instance. They also invented the 60-minute, 60-second calendar. Although the 12-month system was made by the Romans many centuries later, the Babylonians are also responsible, as I said, for some major advancements in other fields. Eventually, as the Romans invented the so-called Julian calendar, the Julian calendar eventually was replaced by the Gregorian calendar, and that's when those weird leap year rules that I mentioned earlier in the video got added to the calendar to make it more in sync, because they were realizing that the Julian calendar's system was just not that efficient. They were just getting out of sync. So they advanced the calendar by 13 days or so, and they created the Gregorian calendar. Eventually, the Gregorian calendar spread across the world, including to America, when the European settlers arrived. But the thing is, some other places like Arabia and China, they kept their calendars because they were pretty much out of influence of the European powers. So they didn't get the Gregorian calendar. So they kept their own calendars and their own calendrial traditions, stuff like that. It's a brief history of the calendar itself. And now we still have about 1.5 minutes. We'll come back when we only have 1 minute left. Alright, so we have about 1 minute left of our time. Now I think I'm going to do a countdown when it gets to 30 seconds. I know you can't see seconds, but I'm actually looking at my watch right now, and it's at 20. 7, 28, 29, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 30, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I am now officially 11 years old. Hope you learned some things from this video, maybe on the different kinds of calendars, maybe on strange leap year rules, maybe on the history of the calendar. And I hope you had a fun, entertaining video watching me become 11 years old. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.